This season continues to be an absolute mess. Every time I think we're going to get a predictable week in this game, I'm proven wrong. There is a lot to talk about today, including the veto results and a spicy backdoor plan. But first, if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned, as I will be here doing these wonderful recaps all season long. And in case you missed it, make sure you check out my last video as well, because that one really sets up some important context for this video. Now, let us begin. So, when we last left off, Cirie and Felicia were still on the block together, but nobody in the house was really looking to target them, except for Bowie. So, all day and night, the house guests are going to attempt to sway Bowie to backdoor somebody. Some people were pitching Cory as the replacement nom, but most people were pitching for it to be Cameron. Now, I did say in my last video that I didn't really see a scenario where Bowie actually puts Cameron up on the block. Even though she didn't really have any true allies in the game, Cameron had still been pretty close to Bowie. He had her back throughout all his HOHs, and I think he was pretty serious about wanting to bring her to the final two. But even with all of that being said, we can never underestimate the power of peer pressure in this game. You see, damn near the entire house is trying every single tactic they can think about to try to convince Bowie to betray Cameron.
We need to stop talking about the resume. She hates that. She doesn't want to make a big move. What we need to tell her is, this is not a big move. This is the house decision. We all, if whoever you put up has no chance of winning HOH next week. Because we're voting them out. And then whoever you save is going to be in debt to you.
This is a coordinated effort on everyone's part. Every little bit of ammo they have against Cameron is slowly chipping away at Bowie's trust.
That's true.
So if there's a replacement nominee,
Well, yeah, it has to be.
it has to be, right? And if Cameron wins and takes someone off,
Yeah.
it has to be Blue.
Yeah.
If Blue wins, takes someone off, it has to. There's just no one left.
Yeah.
You know, which is honestly maybe this is why you're kind of lucky you won this HOH.
Rather than next week.
But I think Matt and Jag are the ones that are able to get through to Bowie the most. They started aligning with her last week, trying to secure her as a number, and they've continued to water that relationship as the days go by. With all this, they're also doing a very nice and subtle job of painting Cameron in a bad light.
Yeah.
So again, I'm trying to defend you so
Yeah.
he doesn't get sus about you. I was like, why would Bowie do that? He's like, I don't know what Bowie would do. He goes I don't know. I don't trust her not to, or something like that.
And see, that suspicion is enough for me to go, he's got to go. Because he doesn't trust me.
Because at this point, do you know the 3 people he was suspicious about the most?
Us.
Me, you, Matt.
Yeah.
And so after all of this never-ending pressure, we see Bowie finally start to crack. Various people are now throwing Cameron under the bus and talking about how shady he is. Felicia is gonna try her hand at it.
Cameron came down and said that you told us. Cameron came down and said that you wanted him to come down and ask us to play.
Oh my, that's good to know. Any information like that I need to know. Where he's lied, I would really like to know that.
And later on, Cory's gonna get his turn to throw Cameron under the bus.
Oh, he's telling me he wants Matt and Jag gone. And he's saying, what he keeps telling us is okay, so Cory, Matt, and Jag are a duo. They're going to stick together. They're too good at competitions. You need me to beat them.
Right.
And then he goes, and honestly, if any of us are up, maybe we could be next to Bowie and that'd be fine.
All of a sudden, it's looking pretty solid that Bowie will be taking a big shot in the game and backdooring Cameron. But of course, nothing can really be finalized until we find out who wins the veto. So the house guests are all gonna go off to play in the veto, and it looks like we got both Otev and Zingbot in this competition, so the next episode should be fun. When the feeds do eventually come back after the competition, we see that Jag has won the power of veto, and it looks like this flip is officially on. The only question left in the air is, who will Jag actually save with the veto? At first, he thinks that saving Cirie would be the best option. She's just generally closer to him and Matt than Felicia is.
I'd rather have Cirie because Cirie will never vote for us. Yeah. Felicia. Man. No, I know. I'm gonna take down Cirie.
Yeah.
That's what my gut was saying, but I wanted to check in with you to see what you thought.
Because if anything went,
Eso es gonna be well to you, man.
This plan was looking like it was set in stone until Cirie made this silly little comment about how she'd actually rather Felicia be saved instead of her.
Yeah.
And I don't even mind. Listen, I was going to tell y'all and Jag or whoever, if Jag wants to use the thing on Felicia and give her a break from packing her suitcase, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
I ain't never packed a suitcase.
Yeah.
I think it was only fair, like, especially since, you know what I mean, we both going to be here. I have no problem with that at all. And I wanted to tell them that with everybody here.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was not expecting Cirie to say this. Like, I didn't know if she was just trying to be nice at first or what. But then I thought, this is Cirie, right? Like, there has to be some sort of strategy behind this. I mean, she ain't that nice. There is still this minuscule chance that she could go home this week. But I mean, statistically speaking, this is probably the safest week to be up on the block. Even though I think that Cirie is by far the superior player, Cameron is seen as the biggest threat in the house because of all those comp wins. This move could help Cirie come across as trustworthy, loyal, and even nice. Plus, it could help her game out even later down the road, since never being put on the block makes you look like a really good player, which makes you look like a target as well. Again, I don't really know what exactly Cirie's thinking here, but I am just hoping that there is some sort of strategy behind it. Right now, it's looking like Jag will follow through with saving Felicia, meaning that we should be seeing Cirie and Cameron on the block together come Thursday. Now, let's talk about Cameron for a bit. Even though he doesn't have the most charisma, he's still a pretty smart dude and he knows that something is up. I mean, before the veto even happened, he had the feeling in his gut that something was wrong and he was starting to interrogate Bowie about it.
So, as long as I'm not a replacement, I've always got you. And I know you know that.
I know.
I just know how quick word can go.
I know.
From down in that kitchen to straight up here.
I know.
And not a piece of it could be true.
Yeah.
Or it's fabricated or it's bullshit.
Yeah.
After the competition, Cameron does find out that Jag is going to use the veto on somebody, and this is where he starts to get really nervous.
And I would think it would be hard for her to put me up unless a few people have gotten into her ear and been like, listen, this is probably a good call for the entire house. She would go with the house call. I would hope that I wouldn't be the call. The call then would be Cory or Blue.
He's still pushing very hard for Cory to go up on the block, but he also knows that he's in trouble too.
Just feels weird, man.
What's that?
Feels weird.
Feels weird?
Yeah. Feels like I'm outside.
You're outside.
I'm outside looking in on the decisions. And I was like, I thought we had what's going on, and now I'm like, what the hell's going on? I feel like if he uses it, she's kind of wants to put me up. And I don't know why.
So it's not looking like this will be a true blindside, unfortunately, since Cameron gets the hint, but it's still one hell of a backdoor plan. I mean, who would have thought that fucking Bowie Jane would be the one to take out Killer Cam? I mean, you cannot make this shit up. Of course, I want to know, what do you all think of this week so far? Is Bowie making the best decision for her game, or is there someone else you should target instead? Let me know in the comments below. It's honestly been a long time coming for Cam to leave this game. He's great in competitions, I'll give him that, but his social game has been absolutely abysmal since week 1, and that's really why he's had to fight so hard this entire season. Of course, I will be back here to update y'all if anything else big changes in the game, but until next time, bye.